Can you get away from me, please? I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do nothing with you,
pretty.
please.
Why would you not?
I don't want to do nothing with you, please. Can you get off
here.
me? Look, I don't care if you're pretty.
Go.
Excuse me. Can you
Don't
tell
walk
it?
away from me.
I don't care if you're pretty. Get off me.
I'm here.
I don't want to do nothing with you.
Come on.
What happened?
She's good. Come on.
She's a what?
Don't do that. She's good.
Double standards for men and women when coming forward with sexual abuse/violence. When dealing with sexual violence/abuse, there are two completely opposite reactions based on what gender is affected. For example, if a woman is sexually abused, the man is blamed for most of the time for being a predator. But in some cases, the woman is blamed for luring the man on or being too revealing, etc. But when a man is sexually abused, society sees it as a joke or that the man wanted it and that is not a big deal, and because of that the man is ridiculed uncontrollably and is too afraid to speak up.
Getting out from the cash point around 7 a.m. heading to across Tanic Bank, two police officers came across me and one of them handcuffed me very quickly. Behind me there was a VW Polo in red, KBC, but I can't remember the other numbers, and I was instructed to get inside. So when I got inside, the two police officers came inside, one of them seated at the back and the other one was the co-driver, and there was another police officer seated on the left side of the car, and I was in the
You're pretty, look, you're pretty. You're pretty. Write down your number. Write your number down. You're pretty. She's pretty. I want her number. Let me get your number. What's wrong? Why?
Back off.
Now compare this clip to the two previous clips shown. You see the difference? There are many shelters dedicated to female violence victims, but so few for men. For example, 4 years ago, Canada only had one shelter for violence, and the man that was running that shelter was ridiculed and pleaded for government assistance financially, which they did not do. So he was forced to shut down. The man committed suicide.
Canada, which capture the most serious forms of violence by gender, we see that a woman is far more likely to be sexually assaulted, beaten, choked, or threatened with a gun or a knife than a man. But a man is far more likely to be kicked, hit, or hit with something than a woman. Earl, why do you think people immediately associate family violence with women?
There's a lot of reasons, but I'm going to go back to what Dustin said about that 90% issue. I had a father with his 1-year-old daughter and 9-year-old son come to the MASH 4077, and that's the shelter in Calgary, the only shelter in Canada for fathers with or without children. I called the Calgary City Police to get an emergency protection order in order for the 1-year-old daughter to be able to go back home and sleep in her bed. The Calgary City Police refused to put in an emergency protection order. So that's why you have that 90-10. It's also been proven by studies that 80% of the men who call the police for support are in fact end up arrested.
Thanks for keeping your mouth shut.
Thanks for minding your own business.
Come on, show me the good ones. Thanks for not telling my girlfriend. Send that to me.
Hi.
Thanks for not telling anyone.
When you do nothing, you're helping him. But when you do something, you help her.
Thanks for telling the bartender.
Thanks for stopping him.
Thanks for telling HR.
Thanks for getting help.
Who will you help? Stop sexual harassment and violence when you see it.
Throughout the advertisement, there are various circumstances in which the woman is being harassed by the men and is in need of help. However, this ad does not quite capture the entire picture, so to speak, about sexual harassment. This ad is not as credible as one would think because of that. In the advertisement, the men are the only ones taking advantage of the women, and not the other way around, as mentioned previously. This ad, obviously, does not capture the harsh reality that is behind men being sexually harassed and or abused, and this may have something to do with the stereotype that men aren't affected by sexual harassment slash violence because they quote unquote wanted it and or happy with it. While in these videos, while in this video, I mean, the women are helpless, which in some cases the men are too, but they don't capture that. After vigorously looking around on YouTube and the internet in general, I have come to the conclusion that there are very few, if not any, instances of an advertisement being placed where the man is the one being sexually harassed. The only ads that I have personally found are the ones where the men are the predator